Hi guys! Today, Sarah and I decided that we're gonna hop on and do an Easter video. Since Easter's coming up, let's do some Easter makeup, right? So some of the key things that we're gonna use to do Easter specific. We're gonna go ahead in and do a little bit more of a fuller coverage. And then we're also going to use our pigment. This is our purple pigment. Great Easter color. You can make it light or heavier and more pigmented. Instead of that gold glitter liquid eyeliner, we're going to use the plum. I'm still going to use some plum pencil to make a smoky eye effect out in the outer corners. If I need to darken up that violet pigment, then I'm going to use the purple from my Vintage Season trio right here in the middle to do my darker effect on my lids. I think I'm going to put some pigment on my lipstick, and I'm going to be using Lotus, which is a nice Easter pink. And I think those are all the major differences, so we can dive in. Are you ready? Are you ready to dive in? Now he's gonna hide behind my neck. Okay. This light situation. So first we're gonna go ahead and dive in with our primer and go ahead and put it all over our face. And as always, everything that I'm using in the video are pharmacy products. The link to be able to purchase and have access to the product is in the comment of all of my videos and on my bio. Right now, we just released a whole bunch of new stuff. We have a sparkle lip color line that just got released, as well as a whole bunch of new shades for our concealer sticks that I plan on making a purchase for. Did that intrigue you, sir? He popped out to listen to the concealer sticks. And then they have a new brown sugar? That's not right. There's a new skincare line. I'll have to add it in my comments. Okay. So I'm going to start with my concealer again. I like this method that I used in a couple videos ago to kind of save the foundation and how much I use of the foundation. Typically, instead of putting this all over my face, I'm going to put this on first, and then I'll put this where it doesn't cover. So I always go in under my eyes here. And then I'm going to go ahead and go over into my hooded lids. And then I will go ahead around, line my lips how I want them to be shaped. Now I'll go ahead in with my camera ready foundation, and I've been using this brush, and I'll get the areas that I didn't conceal and blend in the foundation with the concealer.
Teaming. Help me out, dude. Loser.
So the next step that we're gonna go ahead and dive into is everybody, it seems like, least favorite step, and that's contouring. Let's turn on a little bit more light. Are you chewing my earring, sir? Okay. So everybody seems to be a little bit afraid of contouring, and I don't blame them, because once you actually are done, you look kind of freaky. But you cover up everything so well. It blends together. This stuff is made to do this, okay? So you just kind of have to go in and trust that it's not going to look good until you blend it. And that's okay. So I always start with my darkest, mainly because the darkest is the scariest, right? So I can always go ahead in with a lighter and cover up some areas if I made them a little too dark, if I do that first. So I go from darkest to light. So I go from my contouring to my blush to my highlighter. I also liked my highlighter to be seen a little bit more than, especially more than the contouring. I don't like that being seen as much, but I like the highlighting seen. So that's another reason that I would put that as a top layer, because then I also don't even put the blending foundation powder all over the highlighted areas so that you can still see them. Okay, I'll show you an example now. So we're first gonna go ahead in, and I pinch down the top of the brush here. This will make it a little bit more precise to find that line. And then you can let go of that brush and blend down the rest of the area below the line. Same thing over here. I'm gonna pinch the top, make it more precise. Find that line. And then I can let go and let the excess blend down the bottom below the line. Now again, with the nose, it's a smaller area, so I'm gonna pinch the top of it, make it more precise, get my contouring powder on there, blow off some excess, and do right here on the side of my nose. Again for the other side. And then I take my excess to do the bottom right here. Now for the forehead, it's much bigger area. You don't have to be as precise. There's no line that you're actually trying to define. So you can just do a full loose brush and get right up here in the peaks and blend it down to the areas that aren't peaked. So that is what my contouring itself looks like alone. Now I'm gonna get my blush brush, tongue twister, and one rule when you're putting blush on, smile. I'll say it in every video. You wanna find exactly where that sun would be hitting. If you were spending all day out in the sun, where is that sun gonna be hitting? That's where you wanna put your blush. Again, on the other side, smile. Now with the excess, again, where's that sun gonna be hitting? It's gonna hit that tip of the nose right there, tip of the chin, and then a little bit on the forehead. And that's just where I put my excess, because I don't really wanna see that once it's blended, and I do wanna see a little pink in the cheeks, so that's where I'm gonna put the majority of it. Now it's time for my highlighting, my favorite part, right? Because I love it so much, I have my own highlighting palette that's separate from my 3-in-1 palette. I'm gonna go ahead and use the middle. It's my standard go-to. It's the one that matches the one in the 3-in-1 palette. I'm gonna go ahead under my eyes, and I'm gonna go ahead over my eyes and highlight my lids. Same thing on the other side. And then with the excess, you can go right down there and dabble on the chin. So this is a full contoured face. I have my blush, I have my contouring powder. You can see the line. You can see where I smile, and you see my cheeks where the sun would hit. And then you have my highlighted areas here, a little excess down here, and just a spot right there. So the next step is gonna be, I'm gonna grab my B-Fit, guys. I have been obsessed with this for blending. I have 3 kids. I have crazy Sir Edward here. I have 2 cats. I have a husband. He takes the most work. He's sitting right there, that's why I said that. And this stays on all day, no matter what. I go for bike rides when it's nice. I am running around with the kids and the baby and, you know, doing a whole bunch of stuff. And this will stay on all day, and I just love it. And it blends everything so well. You don't have to color match. It does that for you. Let me show you what I mean. So when you actually open it, it doesn't look like your skin color at all. It's very marbled. But this, once all blended together, is going to be a pretty translucent skin color, and it'll match any skin color once it's put on and blended with your contouring foundation. So I'm going to use my blending brush for this, and again, this is that whole aggressive part. At least for me, I blend vigorously. And notice how I really went around under here to blend and over my eyes. And I left most of that highlighting alone. I just really wanted to focus on blending that blush and blending in that contour line. Okay. So the next thing I'm gonna do is oh, hi sir. Are you trying to make an appearance? He's pacing. I think he's planning on trying to fly somewhere, but I'm not sure where he's gonna go. Okay. I am going to do my brows next. So, as always, I'm gonna grab this brush, and I'm just gonna kind of brush them out and let them sit where they naturally sit. And same thing with the other side. So then I'm gonna go ahead and get my eyebrow pomade. And I'm gonna go in with a brush on the other side of my eyebrow brush. Actually, I may use my more precise one. I do tend to prefer, that brush is great. I'm just so OCD about it that I tend to prefer this tinier one. And then same thing on the other side. Now, as always, guys, you can use the eyebrow mascara instead or in addition to. I usually don't use both. Sometimes I do, I guess. But usually if I use the pomade, it's enough. You can get pretty defined dark brows. But the mascara some people like to use to fill in first as while simultaneously brushing out their brows, because it'll take care of that too. But when it's a special occasion like Easter, I want to have a little bit more of a defined look. So I'm just going to use the pomade and get those truly lined, defined brows, right?
See you later.
Okay, so this one is a little bit darker than this one. So I'm gonna brush it. See how that kind of got off that excess makeup? Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to line my eyes a while. So I'll use this on the top. One of the benefits of going in first with your liner is you don't have to be as perfect. If you go in after you do your eyeshadow and over top of your eyeshadows, that's when you find that you need this like super perfect defined line, right? And I'm not good at that. I'm shaky. I don't want to spend that much time on being so perfect. You can see that's not perfect. But because I'm doing it first, I can cover it up with my eyeshadows. I'm gonna go ahead and on the bottom out, actually, we'll do this first. We're gonna do the bottom in the liquid plum. That's the metallic line. And then the same thing on the other side. And then for a smokier effect, I'm gonna take my pencil and just do these outer bottom corners here. Hello, sir. So, actually, I'm first gonna go in, where is it? If I can find it. I'm gonna go in on the bottom with my, what is this? Creamy eyeshadow. I need to get my creamy eyeshadow brush. And I'm just gonna put this on my lid. Since I did highlight above the bone, I'm just gonna put this right down on the lids so that the pigment can really stick on it, and it'll also provide me with a little bit of a shimmery pink to smoke out my eyes. This light, I keep hitting it. You didn't want to give me a kiss. All right, so now I'm gonna grab my pigment, right? In this brush, I'm gonna put the pigment all over my bottom lids where I put creamy eyeshadow, starting from the outside working inward. So the creamy eyeshadow can be in these inner corners kind of by itself a little bit, and go a little bit above the bone. I'm going above the bone again because I have hooded lids. If you don't, you do not need to go above the bone. Don't be afraid to go over that liner, especially if you don't like that heavy dark line look, which I typically do not. It's very convenient for more makeup, more finished looks, more formal and like holiday things because you're going to be in more pictures. But I don't necessarily like it without the camera kind of fading it away. So there's my all over pigment on one side. And my all over pigment on the other. I love the R pigments so much. This light. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead in and smoke it out just in that bone area with the middle of my vintage trio. Just to darken up these outside corners. And then I can pull it a little bit up there into the outside of where that bone is. All right, to finish off the eyes, we are going to grab our star look, and we're really gonna put this lightly on the inner, but definitely define those outer lashes, which is what this mascara specifically is for. See how the brush is like that to really pull those outer lashes out. Same thing over here. Did you want to say something, sir? And then I'll pull out my 3D effect to really do an all over. And we'll let that first coat of 3D effect, second coat of mascara dry while we do our lips. So I'm going to use my purpley liner. Hello. And then I'm gonna go ahead in with my Lotus matte lipstick. And then, and finally, this is one of the most exciting things about this pigment, in my opinion. The pigment you can use in nail polish, you can use on your eyes, obviously, as eyeshadow, and you can also use on your lips. So I'm gonna grab my highlighting eyeshadow that I used, and then I am going to go ahead in and put some of this pigment onto my lips with the brush. So then, once I am done putting this around the center, see how it adds that little violet tint to my lips. Go ahead and grab my blush brush, finish it up and clean up those smoky edges with it, and add a little more blush. And I'm done with my Easter look, guys. Now, of course, I'll probably go ahead and, now that it's dry, and do one more layer. Right, sir? And really get that mascara defined. But that's it. Perfect Easter look with our pinks and purples here at Pharmacy. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to private message me or comment below. As always, thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later. Bye.